Hey there, welcome back to Ambrosia. We've booked a mooring in Avalon for a week. Sam has been itching to hike the slopes of Catalina while it's green, and it's been forever since I've gone diving. But I really need to use this time for a writing assignment, so I figured I'd bring you along to this low-key sailing retreat.
Are you ready?
We set sail in the morning from Newport Harbor. A cold front had just come through, so we had crystal clear skies and a light breeze. I don't have any instruments to gauge the wind, but there's a few whitecaps in the San Pedro Channel. They're far and few between, so I'm guessing the wind is right around 10 knots, maybe a little less. The forecast was for 6 knots, so I'll split the difference and call it 8 knots of wind. At this rate, we were slicing through the waves with a boat speed of 5.5 knots and pointing directly to Avalon. We towed the dinghy for the first time, too lazy to deflate it and stow it below deck. This finally made sense for us because we now have an engine mount on the stern pulpit, thanks to my nifty 3D printer. Before, we'd stow the engine in the cabin, and that would always get things either wet or greasy. But now, it's a breeze. Hey, check out Mount Baldy back there. So we're about halfway to Avalon now on a close haul. The trip actually started downwind on a broad reach, but steadily changed as we crossed the San Pedro Channel. I'm really happy that the wind didn't die on us because I'd much rather be sailing than running the diesel on such a beautiful day. The fact that Ambrosia is a race boat from the 70s is a major reason why we can be out sailing in such a light breeze. I had originally considered getting a big, heavy cruising boat, but after doing some research, I realized that I would never be sailing to Catalina because those types of boats can hardly sail upwind. We want to be as mobile as possible in our adventures, and having a boat that isn't limited in movement was essential for us. I wonder if the man that built this boat can believe that after 44 years, a young couple like us is still using his boat to explore the oceans. Dennis, if you're watching this, thank you. You build really good boats. Morning.
Oh no.
What? Sam probably thought my earmuffs looked funny. You can see we're bundled up. It was cold in Avalon last night. This morning I'm making pancakes on the induction stovetop, but I'm using the wrong pan. All of our cookware is aluminum, which doesn't work on induction stovetops, except for this one saucepan.
Kind of hard to get a pancake out of a saucepan.
After breakfast, we went to shore for a morning walk before I settled down and started working on my writing assignment. Gotta stretch those leggies when you can. Getting to shore was a fun experience. For some reason, the harbor department would change the location of the dinghy dock. When we arrived, it was at the pier where the harbor department is located. Another day, it was where the fast ferry docks to unload its passengers. But this morning, it was near the casino. I didn't even know that dinghy docks could move. Downtown Avalon is really cute and walkable. We found ourselves making multiple trips to Vaughn's grocery store and Chet's Hardware. There aren't many cars driving around the streets because the city of Avalon is actively trying to reduce their numbers by only permitting 1 new vehicle for every 2 cars that leave the island. We made it to Three Palms Scenic Overlook and were joined by a train of golf carts. If you didn't already know, the city code permits 1 autoette for each residence, but autoettes may also be assigned to businesses for commercial use. So if you come to the island for vacation, you'll probably be renting one of these and coming to this very scenic overlook. Southern California has seen a lot of rain this winter, and Catalina is no exception. Everywhere you look, the flora is lush and flowering. It makes for such beautiful vistas, especially where it meets the turquoise colors of the shallow water. On the way back from the vista, Samantha spotted something in a bush above this wall, so I went to investigate. Turns out it was a milk crate, perfect for storing our wetsuits on Ambrosia. How lucky! And there was this plastic bottle that we recycled back in town.
So what a score, huh?
Free milk crate.
You've got great eyes to have spotted that.
Well, I guess it was on my mind because we wanted the free milk crate down there, but then it may not be free.
We returned to the boat and got ready to do some work. Sam was going to clean the hull and remove a rope from the propeller that we accidentally snagged. I had to issue words of encouragement because the water temperature was a chilly 55 Fahrenheit.
It's gonna be cold. I don't want to go in. It's gonna be cold.
Just go for it. Do a backflip in.
It probably didn't help that my words of encouragement were,
See ya.
do a backflip.
I almost went in with you, Sam.
It's been roughly 4 months since we've cleaned the bottom, and I'm surprised by how good it looks. There's hard growth growing on top of soft growth, but everything just wipes right off. In an effort to preserve the lifespan of the bottom paint, and to not pollute the harbor, I asked Sam to clean only the thickest parts and leave the majority of the bottom untouched. Here's that pesky line that got accidentally wrapped around the propeller. Sam took care of that with a razor-sharp knife. Meanwhile, Al's preparing her a nice hot shower for when she gets out. We found that 2 parts cold water to 1 part boiling makes for a warm shower, while a 1-to-1 ratio makes for a nice hot shower. When I came out to check on Sam, I found her practicing her duck dives with my weight vest on.
That's a good dive. Pretty good. That's pretty good. Came up a little quick. That was pretty good, Sam. Do you see the bolt that I dropped?
Oh, I saw a screwdriver and I was trying to get it.
That looks like the bolt right there. Yeah, see it's shiny over there? No?
Oh.
Once Sam was nice and warm, it was time for me to jump in and do some maintenance of my own. I started by removing the barnacles from the leading edge of the propeller, and then I drew my attention to the rusting zinc on the propeller shaft. Luckily, I had 2 spares on the boat, so swapping this out was a breeze. The last thing on my to-do list was to fetch a stainless steel bolt I had dropped off the stern pulpit. And lo and behold, there it is. While I was on the bottom of the harbor, I noticed a few other shiny things. Here's a stainless steel serrated knife, and here's a stainless steel fork. While I was hunting for treasure, this sheephead swam over to check me out.
Okay.
And before Sam could even put that away,
Bolt.
I was already on the dinghy
Fork and
and
knife.
making my demands.
Come on, woman, take me diving.
Just beyond the jetty is Avalon's world-class diving preserve. Since I was already wet, I figured now was as good a time as any to taxi over there and see what all the hype was about. Unfortunately, I have to stop this video here because my hard drive is full. But join me in part 2 where I explore the State Marine Conservation Area and Samantha takes you on a 14-mile hike around the island.